Meanwhile, leaders of the regional branch of the political party Azad proposed to create a new alliance in Karaganda to monitor the transparency during elections. Representatives of all political organizations and more than a dozen NGOs of the city were invited to participate in the meeting. However, the new form of public control interested just a few.
The Karaganda branch of the political party Azad proposes to create a new organization to control election process by observing transparency, organizing meetings and pickets, and distributing bulletins and leaflets. The alliance will be active only in the Karaganda region for now. According to the charter, the union is not affiliated with any party. It is simply an alliance of citizens who care about democracy, say the initiators of the idea.
The creation of the nationwide union is quite possible in future. However, I think we need to set a local example first.
Azad party members state that the doors are open for everyone to join in. However, not all political organizations support the initiative.
These are exactly the parties that comprise election commissions now, so they cannot play against their own team.
Nuratan members are sure that no alliance is needed to fight the violations during elections. The knowledge of Kazakh legislation should be sufficient. According to the ruling party, Azad is trying to draw attention on itself because of the coming elections to the city administration.
There are parties that hibernate during the inter-elections period, and they have to come up with something to remind everyone of their existence.
The new alliance does not have a name or a lead yet. These issues will be solved for the next founding meeting, where Azad party members will invite all those who support their idea.
Kazakhstan is suing the Karachaganak consortium. Experts suggest that this is the way the state attempts to obtain a share in the project. The next report has more.
Kazakhstan has stepped up the pressure on Karachaganak. In just one last month alone, the oil consortium was prosecuted on 2 accounts at once: the violation of immigration legislation and illegal extraction of oil. In particular, the consortium is charged for illegally obtaining $700 million, although officials refused to comment this seemingly transparent case.
You can address all of your questions to the press center.
Karachaganak is the only remaining oil project of which Kazakh government does not own a share. The major oil field is being developed by 4 foreign operators. To enter the consortium, the conditions of the so-called final agreement on the production share must be changed. This is the main document which regulates the relationship between Kazakhstan and foreign investors. According to Oleg Yegorov, it is impossible to challenge it legally, and that is why other methods are being used.
The mentioned illegal labor attraction actually happens almost everywhere and can be easily used against the company. Anything can be found and used, like the environment component.
The apparatus remains silent for now, although the press service of the Russian company Lukoil was not surprised about the question.
We will not comment on the situation. Ask the consortium representatives about it.
The participants of the brewing conflict decided to wait for now. Experts say that the tactic is reasonable. In case Kazakhstan decides to use the administrative power, the state can count on receiving 10% of the consortium's shares. The plan has already been streamlined, and Kashagan project is the perfect example of that.
With respect to another project, the development of the Tengiz field, Kazakh president confirmed the commitment to the stability of said contracts. In Washington, Chevron board chair John Watson expressed his appreciation to the Kazakh leadership. Meanwhile, the summit on nuclear security was opened in the US capital, gathering together the heads of 46 states. Nursultan Nazarbayev used the opportunity to meet with Barack Obama and reminded that Kazakhstan leads the efforts of reducing nuclear reserves. Furthermore, the country's parliament is even planning to draft a law on the storage of radioactive wastes on the territory of the country.
The Iranian ambassador to Kazakhstan speaks confidently about the peaceful atom of his country. After all, the problems with WMDs face only those countries which possess them, while Iran apparently has none. Strong doubts were expressed about the matter during the summit in Washington. In response, Iran is preparing the International Conference on Nuclear Disarmament in Tehran.
The slogan of our conference is Nuclear Energy for All, Nuclear Weapons for No One. The event is dedicated to the country's international obligations related to the nuclear disarmament and non-proliferation of weapons of mass destruction.
The democracy that is still being built. This is how the US Ambassador Richard Hoagland described Kazakhstan at a press conference. Perhaps this explains recent rumors about Kazakhstan transferring nuclear materials to Iran, as well as their apparent perception as misunderstanding.
First question, the press report at the end of last year that there was possibly a secret deal for Kazakhstan or elements in Kazakhstan to sell uranium to Iran.
Hence, everyone should just forget about it since it was not part of policies. Kazakh MPs, though, are confident that this waste can be better used domestically and propose to build storage for radioactive materials. In the long term, this can bring profits which can be later used for the high-tech development.
I perceive this as not the issue of waste, but as the issue of new substances. Many countries, Russia included, reprocess wastes into much more expensive substances like isotopes.
The parliament is preparing a law which will explain what should be done with nuclear wastes. Currently, Kazakhstan holds 1/5 of the world's uranium reserves. According to the international standards, everything sold abroad will be returned back to Kazakhstan after the production. Then it will be definitely a part of the internal policies of Kazakhstan.
These were all the latest updates from Kazakhstan. Thank you for watching us and goodbye.